morning. Pretty girl, you gotta move. There she is. She usually doesn't like getting pet directly on the head unless you're also petting other parts of her too. She's not a head pats kind of girl. My name is Holland, and I'm here to hang out with you again after another 2 weeks. I think this is my knitting update number 13. So if you've been watching for this long, thank you so much. It's been really fun just hanging out with you today and talking about all the stuff I'm knitting. Today I have just 2 projects for you. I've got one work in progress and I've got one finished object. But let's start with the finished object, which is my woodlings cap. This is a self-drafted pattern. I used worsted weight yarn from a really cool local yarn store in Seattle called Yarn Dragon. I found the tag that was with this yarn, put it in a safe place, cleaned the house, and then immediately lost the tag. So if I can find the tag, I'll pop it in over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it though. Do any of you guys have that problem where you clean and then you can't find anything because now your house is clean? Not that it was like messy before, it was very messy before. But yeah, then I cleaned and I don't know where all my stuff is anymore. This woodlings hat is really cute. I really love it. Super customizable because the initial pattern is just a hat. I frogged this hat about 3 times since I started working on it. The first time I started working on it, I was in New York City with my partner and his cousin for Thanksgiving, and I was working on it there, but I didn't have my notebook, I didn't have my measuring tape, I didn't have anything at all, so I ended up frogging it and starting over. Then when I started over, it was way too tight. It was way too small, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing. So I frogged it again. This final time, I redid it. I started with a I-cord, just a real simple, easy 4-stitch I-cord, which then I increased to an I-cord of 6 for a couple of rows. From that I-cord of 6, I split into 4 double-pointed needles and then just kind of followed the pattern. It's a 4 repeating, I don't know if I'm saying any of this right, but it's a pattern that repeats itself 4 times. I think it's adorable and I love it. My other woodlings cap you may have seen me wear is quite a bit smaller than this one. So it fits quite a bit tighter. This one, because I made it larger, I still need to block it. That's why it looks so tight still. But this one fits quite a bit more comfy. It actually covers my ears, which is really nice, and it comes down to a nice level on my forehead. Pretty girl. Oh my god. She hates it. I think if I worked really hard on completing it, I can get this hat done in like 3 days. But that's 3 days that I also have to go to a job. This woodling hat also, as you can see, features some twists. Next to the twists, there are some pearls to really define... Okay, bye. Some pearls to really define those twists. If I make this hat again, I think I'd like to try it without the pearls and just see what a twist looks like on top of a knit stitch. I was afraid that it would just blend in and you wouldn't be able to really see the defined cables that much, but I think the way they pop, I think it'll be fine. So we will see if I make another one of these. But that is my woodlings cap. I also need to say that this hat was knit on 8mm needles. Oh my god, that'd be huge. 5mm needles, US size 8. The brim and and the hem were knit on US size 6 or 4mm needles. That way it cinches it in a little bit. I like downsizing for ribbed hems. If I don't downsize, I notice that the knits and the purls look like larger stitches because they're so offset. They just look bigger than the knit stitches. That is my one completed project. This is a pattern I would like to learn how to publish. The issue about publishing for me is that I overthink things. I've been looking about how to publish and to write a pattern, to publish a pattern, and they all start like step 1, get inspired. Like I'm already inspired, clearly. Step 2, make a mood board. I'm like, do I need to make a mood board? I already made the hat. It's just these steps that I find kind of redundant that I don't need to do because I'm not starting from square 1, I'm starting from square 7. My other deal is learning how to write it out and then turn it into a PDF. And you know how sometimes like PDFs have those like cute little patterns or like styles or like artwork on them and stuff? So I think that's what's stopping me. Once I figure that out, you guys better look out because this pattern is coming. I'm drinking coffee today. I'm drinking coffee most days. This is a mug club mug that I won from a trivia contest. It's Mr. Nan, because apparently he didn't come and pick it up when his membership expired. Oh, it's so fucking good. I'm super excited you got to meet both babies today, both of the kitties. My other project I have on the needles, my one working project right now, working project, is my friend's fisherman sweater. I joined in the center, so now we have a nice little v-neck. This sweater is knit with US size 4 needles? No, US size 6. Why am I missing my UX and millimeters? I'm mixing them up. I am using Cascade Yarns Anchors Bay, which is a 50-50 merino and cotton blend. It's very nice. Being a cotton blend, it has all these little plies to it. I think there's like 7 plies to this yarn. So it can be very splitty. A seasoned knitter knows that cotton yarn and plied yarn can be very splitty, and sometimes it is. I'm learning really well how to frog back a little bit. This is using fisherman's rib, which makes it so squishy, so yummy. I love the feeling of this sweater. It is just gorgeous, and it's working quicker than I thought it would. I was always afraid that fisherman's rib would take a long time, and it's fine. It's not bad at all. I feel like I'm definitely going to be able to finish this in a couple of months. What else? So this is another part of being disorganized. I had the ball bands and put them in a safe place, cleans the house, and I've never seen them since. They are probably in the same place as my dragon yarn. What do we talk about? We talked about the yarn. We talked about the needle size. We talked about the stitches I'm using. We talked about, it's a commission. This is a commission from a friend. As you can see now, it is a v-neck. I learned with fisherman's rib, because the stitches are shorter than stockinette, that to get a good v-neck, you want to do your increases every 8 rows instead of every 4 rows like I would typically do. The construction of this sweater right now kind of looks flat, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. It is a modified drop shoulder. So on the back here, you can see that there's not a lot of shoulder shaping. It slopes just a little bit to accommodate for our natural slope of our shoulders, but just a little bit because I don't want it to be the boxiest fit in the world. Kind of modified drop shoulder, a little bit Euro shoulder. With this, I learned how to do fisherman's increases, which are really cool. I learned a fisherman's increase. You increase by 2 instead of increasing by 1. That's also why I had to do my increases every 8 rows instead of every 4 rows. There you can see the increases. Aren't they cute? They look like little like veins of a plant. I think the reverse side is really cool too, because they just kind of pop up out of nowhere, like bam, bam, bam. I really like the way that looks too. But for this project, we're going with this side, which is the proper side. One of the cool things about knitting is that if you like doing something a different way, you don't have to do it the proper way. It's your project and you can do whatever you want. When I get a few more rows down, I'm going to connect these and start knitting in the round to create the body. The body of this sweater will be slightly tapered because that's what I want it to be. I'm wondering when I go to pick up stitches for the arms, because I'm picking up from this side, and because the fisherman's rib is shorter than a stockinette stitch, how much does that affect my pickup rate? Usually when I pick up for sleeves, I pick up 3 stitches for every 4 rows. Is that different for fisherman's rib? I'm not looking it up yet, but I'm going to start looking it up. If you know the answer, will you please let me know? Because knitting is a community. And I need my community to help me out a little bit. Is it too heavy? It's not heavy at all. That's the other thing I like about this sweater. It's pretty lightweight. It's got good flow to it. I know like cotton yarn tends to be heavier, so it's gonna have a nice like stretch and pull to it when we're all done and stuff. I'm excited for it. I'm really enjoying this. My memory went full, and because my memory was full, I couldn't record anymore. So let's try again. I think I left off with figuring out how to pick up stitches for the armhole. So we're not going to go over that again. My next thing I want to figure out, and I should probably figure out before I start picking up stitches for the armhole, is the collar. I don't think it needs a collar, but I would like it to have a collar. We'll see. I'll try it on my friend today to see how she likes how it's looking. Obviously it's a V-neck, so I want it to be a V-neck. I also think it would be really cool for it to be a folded collar. Now, how do you fold a V-neck collar? Because you can't fold a V-neck. My theory is that I'm going to knit the collar a 1x1 rib like one usually would. I would do the mitered decreases like you usually would for a knitted collar. And instead of binding off when I'm done, I would do 2 or 4 rows of the, what is it, like the double knitting, the slip stitching? I think it's slip stitching, like what you do before tubular bind off. And then I would start knitting the other side of it. The other side, instead of the mitered decreases, I would do mitered increases. So that way you get a true folded V-neck. I think it would be really cool. I'm gonna try it out. If you catch me again in 2 weeks and I said, F that, I'm not doing it, then it didn't work. So we will see. That's the other thing, you know, I love about knitting is that you can do whatever you want. That's what I have for you today. My woodling's cap with the cables on it that I still need to block, and my friend's commissioned fisherman's sweater. Let me know if there's anything that you want to hear about. I think the next time I see you, it'll be really close to the end of the year. So I might try to put some things together for some frog or finish. I know there's a few things I want to frog, and I know there's some things I want to finish. I'm not talking about it today, but come back in 2 weeks and we'll see what we're seeing. That's what I have for you. Thank you for stopping in and listening to me. I'm glad you got to meet my cat Prudy Girl a little bit, and you might see a little bit of Talbert too. But thank you. Goodbye.